Hello, this is a prepaid call from an inmate at the Virginia Department of Corrections, Red Onion State Prison. To accept this call, press 0.
This is Randall Via. I'm currently serving 1,214 years for capital murder in Red Onion State Prison in the state of Virginia in the USA. This is my podcast, Red Onion Randy. I hope you enjoy listening to me today. This is Randall Via, currently serving 1,214 years for capital murder and armed robbery. Currently being housed at King Mountain Correctional Center in Oakwood, Virginia, in the USA. Welcome to my podcast, Red Onion Randy. I hope you enjoyed listening to me today. If you have any questions or comments or want to leave a message or whatever, I've got a voicemail line. That number is 1-888 524-1932. For anyone outside the continental U.S., just put a plus in front of the 1 and you're good to go. You can also visit my website, which is new and improved and got different features and whatnot, at www.redonionrandy.com. We also have some merch up there. So far, it's just a hoodie and a T-shirt with my logo and everything. You can find that link on my website. I hope you support me. You can also find me on X at Red Onion Randy. I hope you do. Let's get started with the podcast. I'm going to talk about something that's somewhat of a hot button issue. I see both sides of the story. And I get it. I get why this guy has done what he did, and I get why the law was upset at him. I get why the public is split down the middle on, whether what he's doing is a good thing or it's a bad thing, Basically, there's a guy named Jason Vukovich. If I'm not pronouncing the last name correctly, I do apologize. But Jason Vukovich is from Alaska. He's also called the Alaskan Avenger. Now, when he was younger, he was adopted, and his adopted father basically molested and raped him numerous times. And as someone who's been, molested myself when I was 11 years old, right before I got locked up. I understand the anger and the pain and, the shame and just all the bullshit that comes with that, and how it messes with your mind, it messes with your emotions. I get it. I get wanting revenge. I get wanting, just that anger. Like, it makes you hurt people. It makes you want to lash out and just make people feel what you're feeling. I've lived through all that. Thankfully, I've managed to overcome that. I've managed to put it behind me. But this guy has not. Now, so what happened was, if I remember correctly, he did a little bit of time, and then he, for just some petty stuff, and then he got out, and he went on the sex offender registry. Now, for those of you who don't live within the United States, the sex offender registry is everyone who has been charged and convicted and found guilty of a sexual crime of any nature is put on this specific registry to where anybody can look you up. So if you move into a new neighborhood, by the law, if you're on the sex offender registry, you actually have to go around and tell your neighbors, hey, look, I'm a registered sex offender. Obviously, we know very, very few are actually doing that. Just, who's literally going to walk up to somebody's door, ring the doorbell, and when they come, hi, my name is such and such, and I'm a child rapist. Yeah, that ain't happening. So when somebody new comes up, into your neighborhood or whatever, and you find out what their name is, you probably want to go on that registry and check it out just in case. That's just my 2 cents worth, and that's what I'll do whenever I get this time back and I can go home. So he would go to these people's houses, and they would either just ring the doorbell, and when they come to the doorbell, he would use some type of story or whatnot. Hey, man, I broke down. Can I use your phone real quick? And he would get him in the house, and then he'd beat the hell out of him, usually with a hammer, which I'm surprised he didn't kill none of them using a hammer. That's like if I hit you with a hammer in the head, you're dead. Like, that's just all there is to it. So why these guys didn't die, I don't know, but like a hammer does some damn damage. Like, yeah. But he would rob them. He'd beat their ass, and then he would rob them. And I get it. In his mind, he's doing a public service. In his mind, he's letting them know, okay, you know what? If the court is not going to give you a lot of time in prison, if they're not going to lock you up, if you're going to get basically a slap on the fucking wrist, okay, I'm going to take it upon myself to punish your ass so you never lay your hands on a child again. I can respect that. I like that. You're talking to someone who slit a child molester's throat at Sussex 1 back in 2006, April 28th. I get it. I do. Because let's face it, child molesters, like, you rape a grown woman. If you rape an adult woman over 18 years old, you're going to get life in prison, especially here in the state of Virginia where I'm from. You're getting life in prison for raping a grown woman. You rape any female or any male 17 years or younger, you're not going to get life. You can get anything from 2 to like 20 years. And it makes no sense to me at all. Like, I genuinely, I don't get that. How is raping a child less offensive, less moral, less time than raping a grown-ass woman? Like, you get life for raping a woman. You get years for raping a child. Like, I don't understand. What the hell are our lawmakers here in America thinking? Like, why will y'all not change the laws and make any type of sexual assault life in prison without the possibility of parole? Like, I don't get it. So, like, Jason, bro, I got nothing but the utmost respect for you. Personally speaking, I respect what you're doing. I like what you're doing. However, I also understand the opposite side. I understand, the people's view that this is vigilante action. Because it is vigilante. You're taking the law into your own hands. And we no longer live in the time of the Wild Wild West where the gun on our hip is the law. We have a police force that covers literally every square centimeter of American soil. You got federal police, you got state police, and you got local police. Hell, you got county and city police. We've got special task force agencies and so on and so forth that deal with this stuff. And, bro, the reason why, if you ever hear this, which I don't know whether you will or not, because I know as of right now, and this is what really fucking pisses me off. This guy got out of parole. He got out on parole. he did his time in the Alaskan prison system. He did what he was supposed to do. He got his release, and he went out. He did not put his hands on anyone else. He did not hurt anyone. He did not beat anyone up. He did not assault anyone. He did not touch anyone. All he did was he started his own, I guess, podcast or blog or vlog or whatever the case may be. And he got a lot of followers. Like, the dude blew up overnight. I mean, he's the Alaskan Avenger. Like, first of all, that's a cool-ass fucking nickname right there. I love that nickname. Hopefully I can come up with something like that. It's pretty cool for myself. But anyway, this is the thing, bro. Oh, sorry. All right, I'm about to get my wires crossed here. He did a couple of episodes, and his parole officer watched him and violated his parole, saying, hey, look, you're encouraging and inciting violence towards sex offenders. First of all, so fucking what? Like, bro, like, whatever the prosecuting attorney, whatever the judge, and whatever the parole officer who signed off on sending this dude back to prison, like, man, y'all need to check yourselves. First of all, the man has a right to freedom of speech. That's guaranteed by the First Amendment. Like, so he can say whatever the fuck he wants to say. If he can encourage people to go out and do this all he wants to. You cannot lock a man up for that. He did not, from what I understand, he did not make any specific threat. He did not say, look, on Saturday night at 3 p.m., I'm going to kick in this door belonging to Roger Rabbit because he's a child sex offender, and I'm going to beat his ass and rob him. He did not make no specific threats. He just simply said, look, man, we need to stop letting him get away with this shit. We need to start punishing them for what they're doing. Like, there was no specific threats. He's just making generalized statements of fact because these are the things we need to do as a society. Why the hell, lawmakers, are we letting child rapists get away with this, get these small amounts of time, and yet you want to lock this dude up? You want to violate his parole and send him back to prison for 3 more years because of his podcast? Because he's going on there saying, look, man, like, we need to stand up. We need to step up. If you're a man, you need to fucking do something about this. And old boy is absolutely right. Yeah, that doesn't mean you have to put your hands on him. As a man, we don't have to go out there and start killing them. You know, because at the end of the day, I don't want to see y'all going to prison. I do not want y'all to have to live the way I'm currently living. This right here is not... I don't wish this on anyone except child molesters and rapists. Like, if you forcibly rape someone, as far as I'm concerned, you do not deserve leniency. You do not deserve, you don't deserve your life. The state should, like, look, personally, the death penalty does nothing. It's not a deterrent. It's not. Because I'll be honest with you, I would much rather have been given the death penalty and been killed 30 fucking years ago or whenever, instead of having to do all of this time in prison, just dying every single day, all day long. This is fucking suffering right here. Let me tell you something. I would much rather be dead. And I think, personally, that's what it should be. If you are convicted and found guilty of a sex offense, your life should be forfeit. You should be sent to the death chamber, and you should have your life taken from you. Because I have yet 33 years of doing time in prison, people, and I have never once seen or even heard of a sex offender a child rapist or just a rapist, period, rehabilitating themselves. Every single one I've ever seen go home, get released from prison, has always come back within 1 year for raping someone new. A murderer can rehabilitate themselves. A drug dealer can rehabilitate themselves. And people know how I feel about drug dealers. I have no fucking respect for them at all. I don't like it, period. But they can rehabilitate themselves. People who fight and hurt people, malicious wounded, people who steal and rob and do all these things, they can rehabilitate themselves. A sex offender, I've never once heard of a single one who has actually rehabilitated themselves and who have gone home and has never raped or assaulted anyone else ever again. I've never heard of it. I've never seen it. So Jason, bro, again, kudos, bravo. You're my type of fucking man, dude. Because instead of just talking about it, like me, you actually did something about it. I can respect that. But bro, at the end of the day, man, you don't want to spend the rest of your life in prison. So when you get out, if you ever listen to this, man, I hope you take my advice. For someone who's been in prison since he was 11 years old. Bruh, use your channel. Use your numbers. Start a coalition or something, man. Start a group. You know, a non-profit organization or something of that nature. And start lobbying your state legislator, you know, to change the laws, to make the laws, the time, and the punishment so much more harsh and advanced than what it currently is. Do it the right way. Bro, I understand, you know, I understand that anger that drives you to want to just kill them, that drives you to want to hurt them. I get it, bro. I'm in a pod right now where there is a lot of child molesters. I mean, there's a lot of child molesters. There's a lot of rapists. And it makes me sick. It makes me want to do something. But I can't do it. Because at the end of the day, that's not the man I want to be anymore. That's not the person I want to be. I want to go home. I want to be with my wife. I want to be with my family and my friends. And I'm not going to get that by taking the law into my own hands. Now, I understand your desire, bruh. Much respect and love to you. But don't destroy your life taking the law into your own hands, man. It ain't worth it. It's not fucking worth it, man. You know, because I'm still, to this day, I've been almost 19 years charge-free. And because I slit a rapist's throat in here, I slit a child molester's throat in here, I'm still being punished for it. And I'm damn near 19 years charge-free. I just made it out of a Supermax less than a year ago. Bruh, all it does is hurt you. Because at the end of the day, man, as much as I hate to say this, you whooping their ass with a hammer didn't change them. Hell, if anything, it probably just made them worse. It probably made them more determined to go out there and do this stuff and get away with it so they can rape as many kids as they can possibly get away with. Because there's no rehabilitating these fuckers. So, if this bothers you, bro, do something about it. By all means, man, I will support you with everything I have. But you got to do it the right way. Start a non-profit organization, man. Start a movement online. You know, do one of them damn challenges that you see people doing. You know, like write 10 letters to your congressmen and your senators demanding that they change the law in America, in the states, to where if you are convicted of this, you ain't never getting out of prison. Because
You have 1 minute remaining.
I cannot tell you how many times I've seen a guy come into prison, do 5, 6, 7, 8 years for raping a bunch of fucking kids, and then go home. While dudes like you and me sit here and rot forever for a petty-ass charge. Although technically speaking, mine wasn't that petty. Keep your head up in there, bro. Much respect, much love, man. I appreciate you folks listening to me. Remember, if you want to leave some feedback on the show or, ask a question or whatnot, again, that number inside the continental U.S. is 1-888-524-1932. Anyone outside the U.S., just put a plus in front of the 1. Works just the same. You can also visit me my website at redonionrandy.com or find me on X at redonionrandy. You don't have to, but if you want to, wherever you listen to my podcast, go on and give me some stars, or whatever is appropriate for that platform. I'll take whatever you can give me and be damn grateful for it. But, I'm trying to grow. I'm trying to grow the podcast. I'm trying to reach more people. I'm trying to get my voice out there to help people. The crazy thing is I actually am helping people. And in the process, I'm helping myself. So do what you can. And don't forget, I got sweatshirts, T-shirts, and maybe some other merch coming soon. You can find the link on the website, redonionrandy.com. And y'all take care and stay safe out there. Hope to hear from you soon.
Thank you for using GTL.